Hi guys, I'm really excited to talk to you now about the concluding activities, our poem activity, and some other assessments that you're going to get to choose. This video will move very quickly. You are going to want to use your pause button almost for every slide. That means every time the page changes, you're probably going to want to push pause after I give the directions. You will need your packet, a pencil, an eraser, lined paper, and white paper. And students, pause and go grab those things now so you are ready. Who is this? This is our author, Christopher Paul Curtis, who wrote the wonderful book, Bud Not Buddy, and many other wonderful books. And there is a good movie called The Watsons Go to Birmingham based on one of his books. That book is also a pleasure to read. All right, make sure you're pausing this screen after you turn to the last page of your packet. Please fill in the blanks. All right, once you've done that, it's going to look something like this. We want to make sure we're writing neatly and our spelling is correct. Let's go to page 1, or not page 1, but section 1 of your packet. We're going to think about the images in our story. There are 6 blanks for you to fill in. Pause and think about the 6 shapes. There are 6 images that come to your mind when you think about our story. Important images, descriptive words. All right, here are some I thought of, more than 6, and feel free to use any of these that you might like to use. Suitcase, pencil, and you know that story. Father, his search for the father. Girl, the girl he kissed. Rocks, horns, jazz band, rules and things. Those are some ideas for section 1. Section 2. Now let's do section 2. This is the part where you brainstorm and record as many words as possible to describe the characters, setting, plot, mood, or main idea of the story. All right, now that you've hit play again, let's compare answers. Feel free to make changes or use any of these you might like to use. Hopefully you came up with quite a few yourself. Pause now and read through these and make changes as necessary. Now let's go on to number 3. What is the theme of this story? Theme is like the big idea. I'd like you to write it in sentence form, though, not just one word. This is a sentence. What is the big idea of Bud Not Buddy? Maybe you wrote something like Bud's search for a family or Bud's journey to find a real home. Now let's do section 4 about next steps. For this part, you're going to look back on section 1 and think about which shape you want to build for your shape poem and just design it now on some paper. Remember, this is just a rough draft. It's an idea. Now set it aside. We're not ready for final copies yet. Now it is time to think carefully about your theme. Time to write a rough draft of your poem. Why don't you try some couplets or quatrains? Some you will keep, some you will not. Some will give you ideas for other ideas of rhyming couplets that you could create. Here are some examples of some that we have seen in the past. Choose your best couplets now that you've written them. Spelling and punctuation, those need to be checked by a grown-up. Make a final drawing of your image. I give you a tip, make it as big as you can on the page. Then you're going to try to write neatly around your image, which creates the shape. Here are some examples. I was kind of glad you can't really see the words on these because that's not the point. The point is I want you to see that the poems make the shape. That's why it's called a shape poem. Creating a final copy might take a little while on your drawing of the suitcase. Make your drawing big on the paper so there's room for your rhymes. You might be wondering about how this will be graded. Here are the things I'll be looking at. It adds up to 50 points. Again, pause here and think about what's on the screen. Send me a picture of your final copy and I will grade it. Some of the poems will be selected to share. Grades will be based on the quality of your work. Don't send me rough drafts. Now, this is the next part. You can choose from these many choices. 3rd graders will choose 2 of these suitcases. 4th graders will choose 3. There are many choices here. Have fun.